What's up? It's only two of you, three of you. All right, good enough. Let's go see what we might get today. I swung these 7390s. They were down like 30% yesterday. Should have added more, but whatever. Let's go through some dealer charts first, or exposure here, and then we'll decide what we want to do. For some reason, they're hitting volume on the 7425. That would be insane. The air is definitely getting thin up here on SPX, but the market in general. I really don't like swinging puts, but I might take some puts for next Friday as a hedge. But we do have a decent exposure here on the upside on the 7425 strike. Even the 50s have decent exposure. I don't know if we get there. Maybe we do. But I want to get like in the money calls or close to in the money calls and kind of ride them at within the first like 15 minutes probably. So yeah, I'm still holding the 7390Cs. They were down 30%. They're up like 1% now. Still holding these micro calls. I might add to them today, depending on how the chart goes. Surprisingly, they're green. I wasn't expecting that. I thought this was going to be just a lottery ticket that goes to zero, but it's green. So still holding that. And I might add to this one, but I really want to get the 7380s. If I can get it like under 9, that would be ideal. I don't know if we get that or not, but I do think it's setting up for another short squeeze here. And good morning to everyone who just joined. We're just going through some dealer exposure first, and I'll go through some charts. But the air is getting thin up here. Volume is, I don't know if it's decrease or increase. I don't really know. And this chart will update at open. George seems to think 7425 is the call. Well, maybe it's right. I don't know. But I don't want to just like treat everything like a lottery ticket. I'd rather get something closer in the money and let it ride all day. Because remember yesterday, the 7335s, they went from $3.50, and I think they closed at like $3,000. So 10x there on the trade. I don't know if anyone held that long, but usually what I do on my main account is just get closer in the money calls or even in the money calls and just let them kind of go. And that way I can just ride it up. I don't have to keep checking it because I can't keep checking it when I'm doing these trades with y'all on the small portfolio or looking at charts for the most part for these other tickers that I want to play. So I do think we're setting up for another squeeze. Whether we get a pullback or not, I don't know. But I do like how this is shaping up for the time being. And I do think I want to get some put hedges for next Friday probably, just in case. I won't get too far at the money puts. It'll probably be like on SPY, somewhere close to 720, 730 maybe. But I really drew up 2 scenarios. I sent this chart yesterday, like after hours when I saw this like cup forming. And I said, we're likely going to gap up. And then we have 2 scenarios here. One is we gap up and then kind of come back down towards that 729 level. Or we kind of continue going and carving out higher highs and higher lows towards 740. That's literally like my final target for the week. If we get there today, great. But then I do think that there's pain ahead on the downside starting tomorrow, especially because we have data coming out in the morning, I believe. I got to meet some people. And so we don't have another person sneezing and coughing or whatever. And then... or watching porn. That's exactly as someone did that one time. But we'll see. I do like how everything's shaping up, but this is a lot of consolidation. I do think we're going to chop a little bit, maybe at open. Maybe it's a slow grind like we saw on Tuesday, where like literally no sides won because they just kept collecting premiums for the first like 4 hours. And then finally we broke out of that range like 130, exactly when the algorithm strikes, right? And then finally you had some upward movement and then it stalled at the end of the day. And then it stopped everyone else. Like Tuesday was a pretty tough day because like we got some puts in the morning that were kind of green, and then we got some calls that were kind of green, and then they kind of just, because of data, just went to zero over time because of that accumulation. So hopefully it's not that same repeat, but if it is, I want to get closer in the money calls and kind of let them ride. So that's why I'm thinking that because there's not a lot of volume, at least not pre-market, maybe it changes it open. And this looks like it's an accumulation pattern. It could go one way or another. And I want to get closer in the money calls just in case we tag that upper side target on SPY. And I think SPY is moving a bit slower than SPX. And then we'll see where the Qs end up. Let's go through QQQ first, and I'll go through some of these other tickers that I'm kind of watching. Again, like you might be possibly just topping out here. You might do like one final squeeze towards 700. That's where the call wall is, I believe. before it comes back down to cool off a little bit. And I'm not calling for a market crash by any means. I'm just saying like there's not a lot of liquidity up here, right? Like this is all-time highs for S&P 500, QQQ, IWM, and no one knows what to do here. So most people are tempted to short. I think there's one last squeeze in the cards before we kind of cool off and come back down to retest lower levels of liquidity, and they kind of go back towards all-time highs and make new all-time highs over the next couple of months. So that's where my mind is, and I think we keep squeezing. At least today, maybe even tomorrow, I don't know, but we do have some data coming out tomorrow, so I'm kind of cautious. I might get some close to in the money puts for tomorrow just as a hedge. I'm not expecting them to do much, but I do think zero data options are kind of the nice best risk and reward right now for some of these indices and ETFs. IWM, same story. We got a nice pre-market move and then kind of just cooled off a little bit yesterday. And then I think we all got calls around here before it kind of went up. Yesterday was a banger day. I don't know if anyone held those calls that I posted, but I'm looking through those trades and they did really well. Like I wasn't expecting them to be that frothy of a day yesterday. I thought it was going to be a tough day for everyone because typically what happens is like after these explosive moves at all-time highs, you usually have like 1 or 2 days of like cool off, and we didn't get that yesterday. Instead, we got the opposite where everything just started pumping at the same time. Even the lotto went up like 300, 400%. And then yesterday we had a pretty good trade across the board. Every single call that we got expired in the money. 73.55s, 45s, 35s, and the puts, they did pay like 20, 50%. Not a whole lot, but you know, it is what it is. So hopefully, y'all were green yesterday. I think you should have been if you took the entries and the exits exactly when I described them. And for the most part, I saw some nice profits and losses coming through, or mostly profits actually. No losses yesterday coming through on the channel there. So nicely done. We had a great day. Hopefully that continues. If not, oh well. Don't oversize today. That's all I'm asking because I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't see the volume there personally to be confident in a move one way or another. Like $3 billion is not a lot. Maybe we get to 7,400, 7,425, 15s are lit up still. So let's see where that goes. But, you know, not a lot of volume across the board is really where my mind is at. I do like how Oracle is shaping up. Let them cool it off a little bit. Maybe even do the gap fill if we get there. But I do think they're going to test this high at the very least before kind of grinding a higher high and higher low. But this has been an uptrend for the last couple of days. And I do think that this is ready for a breakout. I don't know if we get that today or not, but I do think I'm going to get some calls that are close to in the money for tomorrow just to see what happens there on Oracle. I also like how HIMX is playing a lot of volume. You see the volume increase there. Maybe they cool it off. Maybe it comes back to the displacement here. And then I'd be interested in getting like close in the money calls, maybe even the 15 calls, 16 calls if I feel bold enough. But I do want to be close to the money. So like the 14 strike is probably the best bang for my buck for tomorrow. And I do hope they come back down towards this area before continue to go higher. So that's HIMX. Cohere looks pretty good to me. Let them sell it off at open. Just shake out all the retail, come back to 320, and then I'll get some calls for tomorrow as well. So I like how everything's shaping up, to be honest. And hopefully we get a nice undercut and rip. But I want to get these move calls are probably dead. Oh well. I'll never forgive Ginny for jinxing Micron. I might add to these. Let's just see how that goes. I do think this is an inverse head and shoulder playing out, but again, I don't really care that much about this trade. It's a big size for me, but whatever. I made that up on the SPX plays yesterday, so that's what I'm looking at. And I really like these 7380s. If I can get them less than like 9, that would be a deal for me, and then I can size up and just kind of let them grind for the entire day. Or I might add to the 7390s and see where that goes. Gold is looking good too. Silver's looking good. Let's see where that goes. Intel is setting up indeed. I was looking at that yesterday. I don't know if I want to chase anything, but this is a huge order block that we found ourselves in, luckily. So a lot of accumulation. I do think they're going to test 110 once again, or it's just going to go without us. But you can probably get the 115 calls for tomorrow and see kind of where they go. So I really like how that's shaping up as well. And I don't think they're that expensive. So if you want to get like a couple of them, just, go for it. We'll watch for the first like 5, 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and then we'll see where that goes. Oracle, I really hope comes back down towards 194, and then I'll get some calls on that. Micron, I think they're just accumulating. Maybe they go sideways. I have no clue. And Cohere is really what I'm watching for one of my bigger plays today, hopefully. Let it restart, let it figure out what it wants to do, and then we'll get some closer to the money calls. Maybe I'll add to the 73.90s because they're, you know, at a 20% discount there. And the flow right now on the back end, at least, they're buying hella calls. So let's see if that continues or not. That guy's selling gas again. I like that kid. It's okay. I think I muted him, but I can't tell. Ooh, nice. These are down to the entry that I wanted. Cool. Get 3 of these. Again, not trying to oversize. Maybe I'll get them at 480. Honestly, maybe like 450 if we get there. I don't know what Nick is seeing. Let's see. Oh, these moo calls are alive. Nice. Or not alive, but they're not as red. Come on, do the undercut here, Oracle. Do it. Do it. Yeah, sell it off. I don't care. I love the 200 strike. If I can get it for sub 2, I'll get it. I like this one. You know what? I might just place like 2 limit orders, 3 limit orders at 2. Look at that order book. Holy shit. It's going to fly. Actually, hold on. Let me change this to 220 maybe. And I have zero idea if I could fill on those or not, but the order's there. Maybe I'll change. Oh, got filled. Nice. Maybe I'll change this to 480 instead of 450. Actually, maybe it does fill. Let me just see. Okay, Oracle Galt's filled and they're green by 10%. 13, nice. Filled. Weirdly 20% on these calls. What the fuck? Nice. Decent. Yeah, I might reshuffle there. I feel like they're just doing the undercut here to go get calls, but if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well. I had a pretty green day, so like this is, I really don't care about this. Micron's about to push. It's about to go. core here is about to go. Let's see how much they are. 340 looks pretty good at 700. I know it's a bit of a lottery, but it does look pretty good to me. Look at those buys coming in. Look at that. Fucking hell. The spreads are a bit whack, so I'm going to sit out of this one. Yo, let's go 40%. And I'll go back to SPX to just see what's happening. My suspicion is they're going to buy up to the 7390s. This is about to pop. $50% on Oracle calls if anyone got filled. Even if it was a bit of a chase, you're still up like 50. I just want to see the buys coming in. If the buys coming in, and then I'm happy with just holding these and see where they go. It's about to flip. Undercuts and calls only, exactly. The whole time. Yeah, it's like Darth Vader's here. It's all good. It's a nice ambiance. Yeah, 1 million shares being traded. That's nothing. That could be me for all you know. Yeah, it was a grind Tuesday. I hope we don't get a repeat of that. Oracle calls are green at least. That's nice. 60%. I do think they're about to buy this up. Maybe they wait like a couple more minutes, but there's just not a lot of volume. No, I think that's tomorrow. SPY volume 2 mil gets better than before. I'll cut these calls if we close below 733.60, really. That'll invalidate my call thesis. Yeah. Still decent upside exposure, though. I just don't know where you get there. They might just fill a gap and then fly. Who knows? Exactly. Decent volume in the 74s. Nice. 6 bill. It's not down enough for me to add more. I'm just watching right now to see if we hold this displacement or not. This is 0.745C. Makes no sense. 737, 740, I can see, but 745? 746? What the hell's behind that? For today, too. Interesting. Yeah, it's hard for me to be bearish when there's these crazy buys after hours from yesterday, like 5 million, 8 million shares or whatever that was. So optimistic and moves up. But hey, if we're wrong, we're wrong. Don't really care. I like that. I do think they're starting to buy as well. Like I see the buy orders coming in. They're low volume, but they are coming in. They were really good, yeah. Yeah, I think they started selling the puts. Nice. That's cool. And Algo flipped to bull, I think. Yep, bullish. Nice. And George saying wait. Okay, I'll wait, buddy. Good support at 73.60, so I might add to these calls in a second. But oh wait a little bit. Exactly. Wow, Tesla's a monster. They might just clear 420 today. I don't know. Timmy's amazing. He's a great trader. Oh, yeah. Well, it happens. Can't win them all, but he had a nice trade on Disney like yesterday. Worked out really well. I mean, still making it higher highs, higher lows. Let's see if it gets to 115 tomorrow. It probably will. So especially as the call premiums didn't drop that much. Is that a duck? Arm calls, probably. Yeah, it's looking good. It's bottomed out. Got the calls. They're kind of expensive though, so I don't know if it's worth the risk. Let's see. Arm calls are, yeah, they're kind of expensive. They're $700. I don't know if you want to risk it, but on 225s at 400, if you can get that, are pretty good. Otherwise, the spreads are pretty whack, and I don't know if it's worth playing. Yeah. Or just pick out a really good strike, like the 35s from yesterday at $3.50, and just ride them to like $6,000. Yeah. Exactly. Most of the battle for trading isn't like picking the right strike or the market. It's really just psychology. Exactly. Nice. They just slap more volume than 7400s. Cool. Yeah, no rush. I don't know if we get to 56. I think it's going to hold around here, to be honest. It's right on the EMA. And like this displacement is holding so far. They're testing it, don't get me wrong. But if we get there and double tap and then kind of go up, even better. What? Yeah. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like the buy volume is increasing on the upper strikes. Like it went from, was it 3 billion to 6? Now it's 7.5 on the 7400s. So let's see what they do. Yeah, the simpler the strategy, the better. Even I don't understand like a lot of these things, but I just know. Yeah, same. Dude, inbounds have been so good. There's that move up on Moo. I like it. Might just wait till 10:05 and snipe some calls. Oh yeah, it's gonna go. I do think it's about to fly across the board. Oh, dude, it's huge. Even after market, after hours, like the volume was there. It was, a few thousand shares being traded. So I was like, they're setting up for a move. I just don't know which way. Yeah, I think we're gonna get to like 1,000 probably by the end of the month, man. Yeah, I think either BlackRock's gonna announce something or maybe the U.S. government. I don't know, but one way or another, it's gonna fly. If it flips 68, we're gonna fly up really hard. I mean, at 960 bucks, not bad. It's about to flip, so I'm gonna get the 80s as well. Let's see if we can get two. It's almost algo time, so yeah, I can see that doing a little undercut like yesterday, and then just ripping higher within the same candle. They're gonna have to try harder than that to shake me out. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. They love these games. I love SPX for that reason. Like once you see the play and like how they operate and behave, you're like, I can do this over and over again. It's about to go. It's that 10:05 algo that's the most prevalent, at least this past week. Micron's about to fucking go. I swear to God, this is gonna like fly to 692 probably. Let's see. I'll watch this 10:05, then I'll go make a coffee, and then we'll probably get a move. Yep. The 380s at $500, pretty good. I think that's right. $500 was a pretty good entry. They're slapping the upside. 10 bill on the 7400s. Interesting. It's going to act like a magnet, so it's going to pull price towards that. I just don't know when. That's a double-edged sword. Could be today, could be tomorrow, no idea. At least my inverse head and shoulder thesis on Micron played out a little bit. That's a Wick City over here. Holy crap. Low volume, but it's increasing. Nice. Went from like 1 point something million shares to almost 5 million shares. Let's see. Yep. It's about to go. When I see the buy orders come in on this, like that's retail chasing, just so you know. You want to be in a position before then. I don't know what the hell they're doing on Oracle. Probably just doing the undercut again before it goes higher. Is Tim even here? I actually don't know. Oh, yeah. Get that insider trading knowledge. Oh, they're slapping 7420s. Weird. Weird indeed. All right, 3 more minutes and I'll go make a coffee and call it a day. See, come back to it like later. This gotta flip the 68 level and then we're gonna fly. Good volume on the 7425s. And the 7450s? What the hell? Why are they doing this on the upside? Exactly. Come on, flip 68. Go. I know you want to. All the calls are green on the 80s at least. Yeah, I'm gonna go make a coffee. I definitely need one. I woke up way too early today. See ya all in a bit. Watch it fly as soon as I leave. This happens every time. All right, see you in a bit.